Stop lying to yourself. You're not poor. You're not unlucky. You're not a victim. You're undisciplined. Every single day you choose the easy path. You choose comfort. You choose distraction. And then you wonder why your life looks the way it does. You say you want money, but you can't even control your own habits. You say you want success, but you quit the moment it gets hard. You blame the system, your past, other people. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not doing what needs to be done. Discipline is what builds wealth. Discipline is what creates power. And right now, you have neither. So don't talk about being broke. Talk about the real problem. You lack control. And until you fix that, nothing changes. This is your wake-up call. Now that the truth is clear, let's break down exactly how your lack of discipline is keeping you poor, step by step. Truth 1. Comfort is your addiction. You don't have a money problem. You have a comfort addiction. Every single day, your life is shaped by one simple decision. Do what is easy, or do what is necessary. And you keep choosing easy. You wake up and reach for your phone instead of your purpose. You delay your work. You avoid discomfort. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes, because comfort is a drug. It feels harmless. It feels deserved. But slowly, it destroys your ambition. The more you indulge in comfort, the weaker your discipline becomes. And the weaker your discipline becomes, the further you drift from the life you claim you want. Understand this. Success is built in discomfort. Waking up when you don't feel like it. Working when you'd rather rest. Staying focused when everything inside you wants to quit. That's where power is created. But you've trained your mind to escape that space. You run to entertainment. You run to excuses. You run to anything that makes you feel good right now. And in doing so, you sacrifice everything that could make your future better. This is why you're stuck. Not because you lack opportunity, but because you lack the discipline to endure discomfort. The truth is simple, and it's brutal. If you can't control your need for comfort, you will never control your life. Truth 2. You break your own promises. You don't trust yourself. And that's your biggest weakness. Not your bank balance, not your background. Your word means nothing, even to yourself. You say you'll wake up early. You don't. You say you'll work. You delay it. You say you'll change. You repeat the same cycle, over and over again. And every time you break a promise to yourself, something inside you weakens. Your confidence drops. Your discipline fades. Your identity erodes. Because deep down, your mind is watching. It sees the lies. It sees the excuses. And it learns one thing. You cannot be trusted. So when it's time to do something hard, something uncomfortable, something that actually matters, you hesitate. Not because you're incapable, but because you've trained yourself to quit. Understand this clearly. Discipline isn't built in big moments. It's built in the smallest promises you keep. Waking up when you said you would. Finishing what you started. Showing up when no one is watching. That's how self-respect is created. But right now, you've built a habit of betrayal. You betray your goals. You betray your potential. You betray yourself. And then you wonder why nothing changes. The truth is brutal. If you can't keep your own word, you don't deserve success yet. Truth 3. You are addicted to distraction. You say you don't have time, but that's a lie. You have time. You just don't have focus. Your mind is constantly escaping. one notification, one scroll, one video, and suddenly hours are gone. Not because you're busy, but because you're distracted. You've trained your brain to avoid effort, to chase quick dopamine, to seek entertainment over progress. And now, silence feels uncomfortable. Deep work feels painful. Discipline feels impossible. Because your mind is no longer under your control. It reacts. It craves. It escapes. You open your phone without thinking. You switch tasks without finishing anything. You start, but you never go deep enough to win. And this is why you stay average. Not because you lack intelligence, but because you lack sustained focus. Understand this. In a world where everyone is distracted, focus becomes a superpower. The ability to stand still, to work without interruption, to ignore everything that doesn't matter. That's what separates the elite from the weak. But you've built the opposite habit. You've built a life of constant stimulation. And every time you choose distraction, you are choosing to stay exactly where you are. The truth is brutal. If you cannot control your attention, you will never control your future. Truth 4. You are addicted to excuses. You don't have a discipline problem alone. You have an excuse addiction, and it's destroying your life. Every time things get hard, every time you feel discomfort, every time you're required to step up, you reach for an excuse. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have the right situation. It's not the perfect time. And just like that, you escape responsibility. You protect your ego, but you kill your progress. Because excuses feel good in the moment. They remove pressure. They give you a reason to stay the same. But over time, they become your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who acts and start seeing yourself as someone who explains. And there is a dangerous difference between the two. People who act build. People who explain stay stuck. Look at your patterns. Be honest for once. How many times did you know exactly what needed to be done, but chose not to do it? Not because it was impossible, but because it was uncomfortable. And instead of facing that discomfort, you created a story, a reason, a justification, something to make failure feel acceptable. But here's the truth you keep avoiding. Your life does not change when your excuses sound better. It changes when your actions become stronger. No one cares why you didn't do it. The world does not reward explanations. It rewards results. And results only come from one place: doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Right now, you've trained yourself to negotiate with your own goals. You give yourself options. You give yourself escape routes. You allow later to replace now. And that is why nothing moves forward. Discipline has no space for excuses. It demands action. It demands consistency. It demands that you show up, no matter how you feel. And until you remove excuses from your life completely, you will remain exactly where you are. The truth is brutal. Your excuses are more comfortable than your goals, and that's why you're still stuck. Truth 5. You lack standards. Most people fail, not because they're unlucky, but because they have no standards. You accept mediocrity in your life. You accept people who drain you. You accept work that doesn't challenge you. You accept habits that steal your future. And you call it life. You tolerate a life of low expectations and then wonder why success avoids you. You set no rules for yourself, so everyone else sets them for you. Your environment, your peers, your comfort zone. They define your limits. And because your limits are low, your life never rises. A man without standards is like a ship without a rudder. He drifts wherever the waves take him, powerless, aimless, invisible. And here's the brutal truth. The world does not respect low standards. It does not reward passivity. It does not notice mediocrity. Every day you let yourself slide, every compromise you make, every good enough you settle for, it chips away at your potential. Look around. The elite do not exist in comfort. They exist because they demand more of themselves than anyone else does. They set impossible standards and refuse to break them. They punish weakness. They reward discipline. They don't negotiate with excuses. They don't tolerate laziness. And you? You negotiate with yourself constantly. You compromise when you should act. You settle when you should dominate. Standards are not about arrogance. They are about respect. For yourself, your time, your mind, your life. Every habit you accept, below your potential, is a betrayal of your own standards. Every choice you make that sacrifices long-term success for short-term comfort weakens your integrity. And without standards, discipline dies. Without standards, ambition dies. Without standards, power never comes. So ask yourself, what are your standards? If the answer is, I don't know, or I'll figure it out later, then you are still a slave to mediocrity. And the world will crush you for it. Brutal but true. Until you raise your standards, nothing will save you. Truth 6. You are afraid of accountability. Here's a truth most people refuse to face. You are terrified of being held accountable. You avoid responsibility like it's a disease. You dodge difficult conversations, ignore feedback, and shift blame the moment something goes wrong. And because of this fear, your life is controlled by everyone else, except you. Accountability is uncomfortable. It demands honesty. It demands action. It exposes weakness. And you? You run. You hide. You excuse. Every time you avoid accountability, your potential shrinks. Every time you refuse to admit a mistake, your character erodes. Every time you fail to take ownership of your life, your power diminishes. The elite do not hide from responsibility. They embrace it. They seek it. They measure themselves against the highest standard, not against the lowest common denominator. And here's the brutal part. Accountability is not optional. The world will hold you accountable anyway. Through failures, losses, missed opportunities, and the silent judgment of those around you. The only difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they respond. Do you hide, or do you face it? Weak men complain. Weak men blame. Weak men make excuses. Strong men step up. Strong men own it. Strong men do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. But fear keeps you small. Fear keeps you stuck. Fear keeps you looking for someone else to fix your problems while your life falls apart. Here's the hard truth. No one is coming. No mentor, no coach, no friend, no circumstance will save you from the consequences of your own inaction. Until you stop running from accountability, until you face your mistakes, your laziness, your weaknesses, until you hold yourself to the highest standard in private and in public. You will never rise. You will never grow. You will never become elite, brutal, undeniable, and unavoidable. Your fear of accountability is the wall between you and everything you claim you want. Truth 7. You refuse to sacrifice. Here's the final truth most people cannot face. You refuse to sacrifice. You want success, wealth, power, and freedom. but you want it on your terms. You want the rewards, but you don't want the pain. You want the prestige, but not the work. You want luxury, but you're addicted to comfort. And this is why you stay average. Every goal requires a price. Every dream demands a cost. Every empire, every fortune, every elite mind was built on relentless sacrifice. Time sacrificed, comfort sacrificed, pleasures sacrificed, relationships sacrificed when they distract, moments of leisure sacrificed for moments of mastery. But you hoard comfort like it's oxygen. You cling to convenience like it's life itself. You avoid pain as if it's the enemy of progress. You tell yourself you'll work harder later. You convince yourself that sacrifice is temporary, optional, or unnecessary. Meanwhile, the world doesn't wait. The elite are moving forward, trading short-term comfort for long-term dominance. Every hour they spend building, learning, acting is an hour you waste scrolling, complaining, hesitating. Here's the harsh reality. Comfort is a trap. It feels safe, but it slowly kills your potential. It lulls you into mediocrity. It chains you to average results. You say you want greatness, but your actions betray you. You say you want wealth, but your life proves otherwise. You talk about dreams, but refuse to pay their price. Sacrifice is not optional. Discipline is not optional. Hard work is not optional. The only choice you have is this. Will you endure the discomfort today, or continue to complain tomorrow? This is the cruel truth about life, about success, about power. Without sacrifice, there is no reward. And until you embrace it fully, no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no opportunity, no miracle will appear to fix your life. Your habits, your choices, your discipline, or the lack of it, are the only things shaping your reality. You can keep blaming luck, society, or your circumstances, but the truth is brutal. Your life is a reflection of your control. Your comfort, your excuses, your distractions, your weak standards, your fear of accountability, your refusal to sacrifice, they have built your prison. And the only way out is through yourself, through ruthless honesty, through relentless discipline, through sacrifices no one else will make for you. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop complaining. Demand more of yourself. Rise above your habits. Break the chains you've built. This is not a lesson. It's reality. This is Stoic Luxury.